Hello, hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Gunpla News episode 41 for August of 2018. This is going to be another light episode where I'm only going to be going through just the announcements for this month because I just don't really have a whole lot of time to spare at the moment. If you've noticed here on my channel for about the past week or so, and probably going into the future for the next week or so, it's going to be not much happening here on my channel just because I'm really trying to work on my GBWC entry. I do still think I should be able to finish on time, but just to be sure, I'm really focusing on that. And so I do have a stack of kits that I need to review, but I'm probably just going to keep those there until I'm really done with my GBWC entry. And then, so I'll get back to just like normally scheduled programming here on my channel. So just wanted to let you guys know about that. I figure probably most of you guys, if you've noticed that I haven't been posting videos for the past few days, you probably understand why, but just in case anyone didn't, just thought I'd let you guys know that. So anyway, let's get on with it. I'm just going to be covering a few little points of news here, and then just the announcements for this month. We'll be going through that. It's basically just a whole lot of p-bandai stuff, really, for the most part. There's really only a few things we really need to talk about. But we'll get into all of that here. One thing that I do just want to mention too is that along with the Korean GBWC, which is once again August 15th through the 19th, on the 18th, I'll be having a meetup in Seoul, so I'm going to do a separate video talking about that. Probably I'll upload that after this, and I'll let you guys know all the details about that. Any of you who are in Korea, living in Korea, or going to be visiting Korea, August 18th, I'll be having a meetup there. I think it'll probably end up only being a few of us, but it should be fun. Anyway, we can hang out, hit up some shops, and all of that. So I'll do a separate video next talking about that, and let's get into the news. Other thing is the t-shirts. The t-shirts in my store. I've got a bunch of limited t-shirts that I was going to only keep up until August 1st. I've decided to give you guys just a little bit extra time, just in case anyone maybe hadn't known about that and maybe didn't want to miss them. I'll give you guys until GBWC, so until August 15th, so you've got another week and a half or so to get in and order any of those shirts if you want. The limited ones are including the 3 different winners of the contest that I had with USA Gundam Store, the ZakuAurelius x USA Gundam Store contest, and also the 2 designs that I've got from my friend Barreto. Those are the Barbatos and the Shining Gundam and Domonkashu. Also, just a side note, we're working on the next set of designs with him, and they're going to be pretty cool, so make sure you look out for those. I'll let you guys know about that probably next month is when we'll have those ready for the next round of shirt designs that I'm doing, kind of a collaboration with his artwork. And then the other limited shirts that are going to be gone soon are the color camo versions of the series ones. Those are like the 8th MS team and the 00 Gundam and the UC Gundam and all of these shirts. I've got just black versions. Those are I'll keep up for the indefinite future. But the color camo ones are gonna be only up there until August 15th. So just again, make sure you pick one of those up if you're interested. And then, of course, my Haro Plot contest is ongoing. Once again, the deadline for that is September 1st, so you've got less than a month now. You can still enter if you can finish there before the deadline. That's totally fine. So I've got quite a few entries, but just very few people have finished so far. So just a reminder to you guys who are working on the contest, make sure you get your entries in before September 1st. And then just for any of you guys who maybe didn't know about that, again, be sure to enter. I'll put a link down below talking about the contest in full. If you hadn't seen the announcement for that, I'll have all the information in that video. And the last point of news here I'll quickly mention about is if you missed our July episode of Gunpla Talk we had just last weekend, we talked with Adam from USA Gundam Store, and it was a great episode. If you guys didn't watch that, check it out. But one thing we talked about there at the end of the episode too is that we're planning on having a fundraiser. Gunpla Talk, us at Gunpla Talk and USA Gundam Store are putting together a fundraiser. You guys will be able to donate to that, and we'll have all the details for that on our Gunpla Talk Facebook group. And also included with that is going to be a giveaway. There's going to be a prize. One of the people, we'll pick someone randomly of the people who donate to the fundraiser to win a perfect grade Astray Red frame, which is pretty cool. It's a very big prize, of course. And we're thinking we will probably have other further prizes available for you guys as other giveaway prizes. Along with that, we'll have all the information. It's not totally sorted out yet, so we don't have all the details for you now, but we're working on that. And again, just make sure you follow our Gunpla Talk Facebook page where we'll be posting all the details for that very soon. Okay, and so we can move on into the announcements. So first thing we'll talk about some figure things, metal build, robot damashi, things like that first before we get into the kits. And so the first thing here is the metal build Strike Freedom Gundam Soul Blue version. We don't have a release date announced for this yet, but the list price is going to be 27,000 yen, so around $250, $300 for that. Now, of course, the metal build Strike Freedom Gundam is not new. I think this is maybe the third version of this. I think there was the original version, and then I think there was like a metallic version or something like that maybe as well. And this one, the Soul Blue version, is apparently going to be like a matte finish. So if that's what you wanted, of course, if you already had it, so you could probably just spray it with matte coat or something probably. But as far as I know, there's nothing actually like different that is included with this release. It's just a different finish to that. But for anyone who maybe didn't get it before, it is another chance to pick one up. And I think that this is the best looking version of it. It looks good, I think, in the matte finish there. Other metal build news is the metal build Gun Barrel Striker Pack is coming out for the new metal build Strike Gundam, which is also coming out soon. This one is going to be out in January for 90 to 100 yen, so almost $100 for that. It does look very cool though. I kind of wish that they would have made something like that for the Master Grade. I know there was like a Chinese bootleg kit of the gunmetal that could be used with the I think RM Master Grade Strike Gundam, but kind of would have been cool if Bandai would have made that, but they are making it here on the metal build line. It does look pretty nice. Anyway, next thing is the the metal robot damashi full armor Knight Gundam real type version. So the full armor Knight Gundam was just like a SD design, but this is the real type version, so it means it's just elongated into the like normal Gundam proportions. And this is going to be released in December for 14,000 yen, so of course very expensive, but it's all like chromed out and has all the cool effect parts and everything. And next, the Robot Damashi Unicorn Gundam 03 Phoenix narrative version. So of course this is just the narrative version of the Phoenix in Robot Damashi version, so it's just got the pigtails out the back of the armed armor DEs. Unlike the HD release, they're actually like individually segmented, so you're able to move them, I think, in a much more fluid way depending on the posing of the kit, which does look pretty interesting. So that is out in December as well for 8,500 yen, around 80, 90 bucks. Alright, and then a couple more Robot Damashi things. We have the Robot Damashi Zeong version anime. This is going to be out in December for 12,000 yen. Looks really cool. And one thing that this one's coming with that I don't think any of the version anime Robot Damashis have come with before is like little picture cards. It's like a little like kind of still from the anime, kind of like of Char. And then there's like another one with like some text on it. Of course, it's all in Japanese, but you can sort of make it look sort of like the anime scene there, like with the text in it, or I guess like the manga sort of. But it does look really cool. Of course, if you're a big fan of the Zeong, I think this release does look really nice. It comes with tons of effect parts for that, and just all sorts of stuff. Of course, for the price of 12,000 yen, 120 bucks or something for that, you would expect it to come with a lot. But it also does come with like the hanger or like kind of set for that as well too, which is pretty nice. And then the next version anime after that is the Robot Damashi RX-782 Gundam and G Fighter real type color version anime. So of course this is the Gundam with the G Fighter, and you can of course rearrange that in all the different combinations of the tank and the fighter mode, and with the Gundam in there, and with the Gundam riding on it, and separately, all that sort of fun stuff. This one as well, pretty pricey, 13,500 yen, even more than the Zeong. And we don't have a release date set for this, but judging by the fact that these come out usually every month, and the Zeong is December, I would imagine this one is going to be the January release at the moment. So, and then a couple p-bandai things here. P-bandai Gundam G-Frame, S Gundam, and XS Gundam. So you have all the option parts to make it the S or the XS Gundam with this special set. This is out in October for 4,500 yen, pretty expensive. And I don't know, it doesn't really look that good in my opinion. The proportions are pretty whack. It's like, this is a very Katoki design. It definitely needs those Katoki long legs, but this version's got kind of really short legs, and it just doesn't really look very good. The proportions just look not so good on that. But of course it does come with a whole lot of stuff in there. It is pricey though, 4,500 yen for that. If you guys have seen my reviews that I've done of the other G-Frame figure kits, toys, they're only about like this big, and the XS, like that big. It's quite a lot for that. And then the p-bandai Exceed model Light and Sound Zaku 2 mass production type. This one's out in December for 4,000 yen as well. That's also quite a lot for this. We did previously see this released as a Char's custom version, but now it's the mass production type version, just in the green colors. Yeah, it's just like the Exceed Zaku head, but with kind of part of a torso there, and that gives you the ability to put in an LED, and it does make some sounds as well, apparently. So it's kind of interesting. I think the torso part that they made for that, just the sculpt looks terrible. It doesn't look like a Zaku chest. I mean, like, kind of the elements are there. It's got like the black like plate on the front, but it's just the totally wrong shape for any version of the Zaku. And the backpack also looks really weird, and it's just like not really big enough for it to be like a full torso, and it just kind of like, I don't know. Moving on, some exclusive Gunpla to be sold at Hong Kong, at the Gundam docks in Hong Kong. So this is limited Gunpla there. They're just going to run through these. I don't know the prices for them, but considering they're all pretty much just like clear color versions, the prices should be pretty similar to the original color of the original price of the kit. These is the Master Grade New Gundam Verka, a clear color version. That one doesn't look too good in clear color, in my opinion. But then the Master Grade Sazabi Verka in clear color. This one does look a whole lot better. The Sazabi clear color looks really cool, just in that just clear red all over it. I think that looks pretty impressive. Moving on, the HD Build Diver is Gundam 00 Diver Ace in clear chrome version. It's like half clear color and half chromed. So I think like all the white parts are clear. All the white parts are chromed, and all the color parts are turned into clear color. And the HD Build Divers Momo Kapul version Zaishin, and this is just a very like typically Chinese version of the Momo Kapul. And there's also an SDBB New Gundam and Sazabi set. I don't know if there's anything really different about that. It does come with like some Gundam dock stickers, it looks like, but I don't know about the actual kits themselves, how different those are going to be. And the last thing is the SD Cross Silhouette RX-782 Gundam and Cross Silhouette frame. This one as well, it does come with a specific base. You can see in the photo there, that's new for that. But it also looks like it maybe is in like metallic. The colors there do look like they're sort of like metallic looking. So I think that is also a thing with this one as well. But again, those are just going to be exclusive items, limited there to Gundam docks in Hong Kong. I'm sure you'll be able to get those through any sort of like proxy seller or something like that if you really want. Now getting into the rest of the p-bandai stuff now, the first couple ones here are kind of special. There is the p-bandai HGUC Unicorn Gundam Luminous Crystal Body version out in November for 3,000 yen, as well as the p-bandai Real Grade Shinanju Metal Gloss Injection version also out in November for 4,000 yen. Now the two of these are Gundam Base limited items there at the Gundam Base Tokyo, but they're going to be releasing like a new sort of like sub part of p-bandai online, which will be for some Gundam Base limited items. So you'll be able to get them not only at the Gundam Base, but through the p-bandai online shop for some of these as well. So like these have already actually been out. These are not new items, but they will be new to the p-bandai store. Anyway, the Luminous Crystal Body Unicorn actually did a review of that a couple months ago. If you're interested, check that out. Very cool kit. Next thing is a p-bandai Master Grade Unicorn Gundam Phoenix narrative version out in November for 13,000 yen. The regular Master Grade Phoenix, I think, if I remember correctly, list price is 9,000 yen. So add 4,000 yen, add onto that more now for the extra pigtails out the back. Doesn't really seem to make sense. The regular Phoenix Master Grade kit is all plated, so this one also plated, but it's just adding a handful of new parts, but it's adding quite a lot to the price. It doesn't really seem to make sense. I don't know, but if you guys have ever built the Master Grade Phoenix, or like the titanium version Unicorn Gundam, or the titanium version Banshee, any of those, the Master Grade Unicorn Gundam is not a kit that was really designed to be plated. It's got terrible nubs all over the place, so I would just forewarn you guys, maybe you don't know about that. Any plated version of the Master Grade Unicorn is just going to have terrible nub marks on it. It's like really bad. So I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're planning on just stripping the plating and repainting that, in which case, you know, that's quite a lot of money to do that. Next thing is the p-bandai RE100 Type 89 base jabber. It's very strange that they released this as an RE100 release. I mean, I don't know really what they would have done, whether there was just be like a non-grade 100 scale Type 89 base jabber or Master Grade Type 89 base jabber. I guess because it's going to be fairly not so complicated, they decided not to make it as an actual Master Grade release. So I guess it kind of makes sense to be a RE100 because it's a 100 scale kit, but not really super complicated. But it does have a lot of detail on it, so It fits with the RE100 line, I guess, anyway, but this is a cool thing that's going to be coming out in October for 3,000 yen. It's also relatively affordable, 3,000 yen, not too expensive for that. The thing about it, though, is while it's pretty cool just on its own, if you want to have it actually up flying in the air, they've got it pictured. It looks like it takes 3 action-based arms to hold this thing up, which looks pretty ridiculous when you have it up like that. I mean, that's with like a mobile suit flying on it. I'm not sure if like you don't have an actual mobile suit on it. Maybe you can do it with just less than 3. Of course, another cool thing that you can do with it is have like 2 mobile suits riding on the top and the bottom of it, which is pretty interesting. That they were able to do that. I'm not sure how that's going to actually work in practice, how you actually secure the mobile suit to the bottom without it just like falling off. But that'll be interesting. I don't know. I'm not planning on getting this and doing a review of it or anything, so yeah, I won't be able to answer that for you, but I'm interested to see other people's review of this, what other people think of it, because it's a kind of interesting release anyway. Moving into p-bandai RG stuff, we have the p-bandai real grade high mobility type Zaku 2 Gabby Hazard Custom out in October for 2,800 yen. This is pretty much like what they released in the Ace Pilot log. Actually, before they started the Ace Pilot log actual like name, they had this released as a p-bandai Master Grade kit using the Master Grade 2.0 high mobility type Zaku, which I think is a much better version of this, just because with the Master Grade you actually get waterside decals. With the real grade you just get stickers, which kind of sucks. Also, the Master Grade 2.0 kit I think is just a better kit compared to the real grade just in general. Obviously, the advantage of the real grade is going to be that it's cheaper, but I'd say for paying like, I think it's like $20, $30 more for the Master Grade, I would just get the Master Grade. It's, I think, definitely worth it, but just depends on how much you want to spend and how much shelf space you want to take up. Next, we have the p-bandai real grade Tallgeese EW titanium finish version out in October for 6,000 yen. This one I believe is already being sold at Gunpla events, at the Gunpla Expo and Gunpla GBWC events actually. But through the p-bandai online store, it's not coming out until October. But this is basically just the real grade Tallgeese with the titanium finish, and yeah, it's shiny. Also, there's going to be a p-bandai real grade Wing Gundam Zero EW, Wing Gundam Zero Custom EW, plus the Drazorg Buster parts for that, and this one is also going to be titanium finished. So this one was already released as like a set of that. I think there was also a p-bandai set that included the Drazorg Buster rifle parts, but again, this is just the titanium finish version of that. So this one is out in October as well for 6,500 yen for that one. Now moving on to probably the most exciting thing for me this month, and also the most not surprising thing, is the p-bandai HG Leo Space Type out in October for 1,400 yen. So we all knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time, and we could all pretty much assume that it was going to be a p-bandai kit, and lo and behold, of course it is. So the cool thing about this is that it's actually coming with more than I think what a lot of us were expecting. It does, in terms of like the weapons, it comes with both the short and long versions of the Leo Space Type beam rifle, and also comes with the bazooka, which is pretty cool. I definitely was not expecting that. Of course, it comes with the other parts to make the Leo Space Type, different shoulder armor, and the Space Type backpack, and of course, sporting that cool purple color scheme. Very, very cool. Really looking forward to that. I really like the design of the Space Type Leo. Then we just need to wait and see about like a further expansion of the ground type Leo, if there's going to be like a special set that comes with the flight pack and the commander cannons for the shoulders. Probably, maybe, I don't know, we'll just have to see, but that would be cool to have that one out as well at some point. The next thing is the p-bandai HG The Origin Heavy Gundam Rollout Colors version out in October for 2,200 yen. Just the regular p-bandai The Origin HG Heavy Gundam was a p-bandai kit, so this is a p-bandai version of a p-bandai kit, which I know just is kind of silly, but they just do that sometimes. It's basically just recolored to just these white colors. For that, I have the regular Heavy Gundam here. It's built. I just need to film the review for it for you guys. I'll do that soon enough. Very good kit. I'll just give you guys a heads up on that one and just say, if you have any doubts about if you want to get that kit or not, I would say definitely get that kit. Anyway, last p-bandai thing here is the p-bandai SD Legend BB Victory Dai Shogun. I feel like I've talked about this before, but I don't have it in my notes here, so I don't think I did. Anyway, this one is out in September for 4,500 yen. It's just one of these very elaborate SD Legend designs here with all the chrome parts and clear effect parts, and it has all the different modes and like the like bird part comes off to make it separate, like bird flying armor thing, and you have all this different kind of stuff you can do with those. Very elaborate, I guess is the best word to describe those. Then, moving into just the standard release stuff now for the last few things here. We have the new high-res. The third release in the high-res line has been announced. We got the Astray Red frame. And I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like, you know, I don't know, we have so many versions of the Stray Red frame, but I guess it could be if they ended up doing a high-res Unicorn or something, a high-res Exia. These are also really super popular designs that will probably at some point make their way into the high-res line, and I'll probably feel the same about that at this point. But with the high-res line being such a high-res and high-cost line, both in production and in the cost of buying that, I imagine they really just want to stick to whatever sells really well, and I guess the Astray Red frame is a popular enough design, and they've done a pretty interesting redesign of it here. There's a lot of changes to the design, as with every release, I guess. Very strange, I don't know, strange but cool. A lot of different, very interesting aspects to this. One thing that I noticed too is that we haven't seen so far any photos of the kit coming with the shield and the beam rifle, so I think it might only be coming with the sword, which is interesting. I would be a little bit disappointed about that because I really like the shield and the beam rifle for the Astray Red frame. So that would be disappointing for me. But yeah, a lot of very interesting changes to this aspect. It's very thick. Even the photo that shows the frame, and the frame does all look to be sort of like metallic coated. And it's a very thick frame and a very thick Gundam once it's all armored up too. And like it's got a lot of very interesting aspects to the design, like the hands, the hand covers are molded to like cover up to part of the fingers as well, so it kind of looks like he's wearing fingerless gloves. The toe bends, like the individual like big toe of it bends, and like the toe bend of the foot, and just some very unique things that they decided to do with this one. And like a bunch of the arm, like the shoulder, the bicep, and the forearm all like is molded so it looks like actually like the shape of musculature on the arm, and it's very unique, I guess is the word that I'm going to keep coming back to. Even the texture on it, they've got this really interesting like pattern molded into like the front of the shoulder and the front of the thigh armor. It's like hatch pattern in that, and it looks to be like that's like molded on. It's not like pre-printed onto there, but it's actually molded like that. So a lot of really unique stuff they're doing with this. A lot of interesting things they're doing with this release. I haven't decided yet if I want to get that and review it for you guys. I haven't reviewed any of the high-res kits so far, and I feel like I probably should at some point just to see what they're like. So maybe it'll be the Astray Red frame. Next thing, the HD The Origin Gym Interceptor Custom. This is not new, obviously. This is something that we've known is coming out for a while. But the new news about this is just the fact that we know it's not going to be a P-bandai release. This is going to be a standard release. So that's why I just want to now kind of consider it as an announcement now that we actually know how it's going to be released. So that's cool. It's not P-bandai, but on the other hand, I'm not really too into it, to be honest. It's very, very lightly armed. Just comes with like a beam saber and just the Gym's beam spray gun, and that's it. So if you're kind of the person that likes like bigger or larger amounts of armaments for a kit, this is not really going to be for you, I suppose. Next thing too is the HD Build Divers Gundam Love Phantom out in October for 2200. And this is another thing that was teased a couple months ago, but we're only now just getting like the full release information for that. So it's a pretty interesting mix using like the HD Revive Strike Freedom as the base, and then it's got like the wings of the Strike Noir. It's also obviously taking some design elements of the Death Scythe as well there too, obviously with the big scythe and pointed parts like for the knees and toes. And so a lot of interesting aspects, I think, to the design and different mix of different elements in there. The color is pretty awful in my opinion. I definitely would want to repaint that, but I think it could look pretty cool with just some new colors. It's an interesting design. Next thing here is the HGUC Unicorn Gundam Phoenix Narrative version Gold Coating version out in October for 5400 yen. So this is exactly the same kit that came out last month, just the narrative version of the Phoenix, but this is just a gold coated version of that. So it's kind of interesting that they didn't release this as a P-bandai kit. Kind of seems like obviously it would be a P-bandai release, but they're actually just making it just a regular release. So that's kind of odd that they would actually have two different versions of the Phoenix narrative version coming out with only a few months apart, and one regular version and one plated version. I don't think that's really ever happened with anything, so that's a pretty strange choice on Bandai's part, but hey, if you didn't like the molded gold, you'll have the opportunity to get this. Next thing here is the new version of the Haropla. It's the Haropla Ball Haro. So this is obviously taking design aspects of the ball and the Haro and putting them together here. So we don't have a release date or price set for this, but I imagine it'd be coming out pretty soon and probably for around the price tag of around 1,000 yen, if I had to guess. It looks kind of cool. It's definitely got some hollow spaces in the arms of the ball, which is kind of not very sightly. But hey, if you're a fan of balls and the Haro, then cool. It's very cute, of course. And the last thing here is the SD Cross Silhouette Gundam 00 Diver Ace is coming out in October for 1,000 yen. So as you guys have seen now, I've done the reviews of the ARC-782 and the Nightingale in the Cross Silhouette line. It's very nice. And this release does look pretty cool if you're a fan of the Gundam 00 Diver Ace. I don't know if we'll end up seeing a version of the SD Cross Silhouette Gundam 00 Sky, with the Gundam 00 Sky being the new protagonist suit in the series. You would think that, like, while this is kind of like the main thing going on, the main Bandai's main series, that they would want to release that in the SD Cross Silhouette line as well, possibly. It could happen, but I don't know, we'll have to see. So anyway, in the meantime, there's that. So one thing that I should quickly talk about, this is actually something that was just announced and now it's like just coming out like right away, so I didn't really get a chance to talk about this at any point, but I also don't really think I need to talk about it just because of the nature of this. This is the HG Build Custom set for the Build Hands Edge, small, limited, small, medium, and large, and then the Build Hands Round, small, medium, and large. And as far as I can tell, these don't look any different from the Jagan Build Knuckles, that's what they're called. I can't never remember the name. The Jagan Build Knuckles from Gundam Build Fighters. And actually, it's just kind of interesting that they keep the HG Build Custom title for all the Build Fighters and the Build Divers accessory like sets. So it's actually within the same line, even the HGBC line. So we'll have the Jigen Build Knuckles and then the Build Hands, either the Edge, which is just a square type, and the Round, which is the round type, but they look exactly the same. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but these sets look exactly the same as the previously released sets. Yeah, so that's weird. I don't really know why they're doing that, just because, I don't know, they just want to put the Build Divers logo on it now instead of having the same set being keeping release with the Build Fighters logos and everything. I don't know. Whatever the reason, anyway, those are going to be out, but as far as I can tell, they're exactly the same as what was previously out, so it's not really anything new, just new boxes for that, basically. And that is it for this month's episode of Gunpla News, guys. I'm busy working on my GBWC entry, so I'm going to get back to that. I'm working on painting now and also working on my base. There'll be another work in progress video for that coming probably in the next few days as I start making some more progress on the base and have more of that to show to you guys. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your patience during this time of not really too much in the way of videos here, but I hope you guys will be able to see something very cool happen with this GBWC build. So stay tuned for that very soon, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. See you next time.